Bismillah, Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala ma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is your brother Abu Aisha Shuaib from Abu Aisha Shuaib Vlogs community, and today is a Saturday and the 13th of December 2025, which corresponds to 20. So today, as I mentioned to you in yesterday's Tafsir class, if you missed yesterday's part 4 of Surah Naziyat, I highly recommend you go and cover it up. Go through uh, just it's 20 minutes short session on a couple of verses of Surah Naziyat. Now, the affair, the dark reality of celebrating Christmas and the affair of, celebrating Christmas, I'm going to talk in general and evidence-based, you know, it's gonna be an evidence-based approach, not um, an emotional one. And I'm gonna put the facts and figures in front of you so that you can think and analyze for yourself. Okay. Stuff the factual research that I'm going to share with you. It's a small booklet. How should a Muslim behave during non-Muslim festival? And you know, and what should be the aqidah of a Muslim regarding Jesus, alayhi salam, yani Isa alayhi salam. And I'm taking this from the booklet of Abu Khadija and done by Salafi Publications. Let me make it clear over here. I did not seek their specific permission, which I believe I should have. I didn't take permission to, do this recording. But the my this is a non-profit. This is an educational, Islamic educational non-profit. I don't mean to make any money from this. You know, that's what their copyright is all about. That I can, no one can make any money without seeking the written consent. Okay, so I'm not going to make any money. I'm just doing this for the sake of education, so it benefits both the Christians and Muslims. Okay, now it is very important that before you get involved with any celebration, whether it's Christmas or celebrating birthday or anything or any festival, first we need to go think deep down, reflect that why are we celebrating a festival in the first place? What is the need to celebrate a festival in the first place? If you're doing it just for the sake of it because you just want to party, you know, you don't really care about the religious significance, the origins, you just, want to have a good time, you want to party, then you have already lost the purpose of living your life to begin with, And so I'm not really bothered about such people who don't take their life seriously, for whom this life is just play and uh, you know delving deep into desires and just wasting time, pleasure and play. That's all life is all about for them. So such people are just a waste. Their existence doesn't mean anything, and so I'm not really concerned for such useless people. But may Allah guide all such people. But if you are a person who really cares about, making energy, every second and every energy count, right? Obviously, you work and or you do business and you earn a living, a respectable living, and you make every real or dirham or dinar or dollar or pound or whatever currency, rupees, you make every, let's say dirham, you make every dirham or dinar count, right? You make every dollar count. You don't want to waste a single dollar, right? So similarly, you don't want to waste a single minute. You want to make sure you get rewarded for it by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At least that should be your ideal goal in life. Do everything meaningfully. Don't just float in life. Don't just watch stuff, and don't just scroll through the internet. Rather, have a goal and purpose in life, and only then you will reach somewhere, or you will achieve something at the end of the day. Else you are worse than an animal or an object. So, okay, let's just begin. So you can go through this booklet. It's a really great piece of work. I did not find many books. When you search authentic Salafi books on Christmas, you don't find many. This is the only one I searched and I found this one. So that's why I'm sharing this one. And I have already done a live session on Facebook. I think 6 months or a year ago, I did a live session on Facebook. It was in a non-Muslims rewards group, and you can go and find my profile of Aayeshah Shuaib on Facebook. And so I already shared this information before, but then I thought, okay, I'll record it on YouTube so that it can reach more people, because there are millions of people on YouTube, right? So I want this message to reach out to as many people as possible. This message is really important. Now, what is the pagan roots of Christmas? What is Christmas? The word Christmas, let's break it down. It means Christ Mass, right? Basically, the churches came up with the word that you are celebrating the, you know, Jesus being born. You are celebrating that. But if you go dig deep in Bible, you will not find Christmas word in Old Bible or the New Bible, the Old Testament or the New Testament. And you will find that Christmas was not. If you read the Catholic Church encyclopedias, they will say Christmas was not among the earliest festivals of the church. The first evidence of this, you know, can be found in, hold on, let me just scroll down. The first evidence of the feast comes from Egypt. Pagan customs centering around the month of January gravitated to Christmas. So, in reality, first of all, Christmas has nothing to do with uh, Jesus being raised in the heavens, and so some 300 years after Jesus passed away, some people in the church started, know, celebrating his having a banquet on his birthday, and celebrating. In the scriptures, no one is recorded to have kept a feast or held a banquet on his birthday. It was only the sinners who made great rejoicings over this day, over the day in which they were born into this world. So 1946 edition of Encyclopedia Britannica says Christmas or Mass of Christ was not from the earliest festivals of the church. Okay, so you will find a lot of references. You can go through all the references, take your time. I'm not going to go through everything, but this is self-explanatory. It is evident that it was, according to many authorities, not celebrated in the first few centuries of the Christian Church. Okay, so a feast was established in the memory of this event in the 4th century, and then by 5th century, the Western Church ordered it to be celebrated among celebrated forever on the day of old Roman feast of the birth of Saul, as no certain knowledge of the day of Christ's birth existed. So this is the thing. Even You know, the date of the final messenger of Allah, Aisha Islam, passing away is well known. It was documented. It is part of history. But the day he was born, that is, people differ on that. And similarly, if you go back and you're talking about Jesus Islam, the same thing. No one knows when he was exactly born. And he was born miraculously anyways. So, you know, and what is Saul? What they actually celebrate? This is a pagan, ancient Roman, practice of basically worshipping the sun, one of the gods of sun or a deity of sun. Imagine that. And you can see Julius Caesar introduced his own calendar 445 BCE, and he uh, marked 25th December, you know, though it is actually 21st or 22nd of the month. It's 25th of December that eventually found its way into Christian religion and celebrated across the world by ill-informed and unlearned Christians as well as many clueless Muslims in many other religions. So for the first 300 years after Jesus, the celebration had no connection to Christianity. Then the 4th century it was instituted, and 5th it was ordered by the Western Church. Okay, and then the brother mentions that the same issue, just like the church, the Western Church introduced, has no classical, divine, religious significance. Similarly, the Muslims started celebrating the birthday of the final messenger of Allah Islam. They started doing this bid'ah, they started celebrating his birthday. Even though Muhammad SAW didn't, he never celebrated his own birthday, nor did he tell the companions to it, nor any of the Khulafa Rashidin or Ashra Mubashara, the Khulafa Rashidin or Ashra Mubashara, or any of the Sahaba. There is no, not even one hadith, one asar evident that they ever celebrated the birthday of Rasulullah SAW. So once this information is absorbed and understood, we can clearly see that Christians have Christmas has nothing whatsoever to do with Jesus or the message he was sent with. Okay, Islam is very clear about such celebration, and there is no place in the life of Muslims. Even Christians should distance themselves from such practice and really study the life of Jesus as supported in the Quran, because it's clear that Christian leaders after 4th century practically rewrote the mission of Jesus Christ to suit their own doctrines, sectarian goals and ambitions. Right. तो ये वो बात है जो समझने वाली है कि आप में से जिन लोगों को इंग्लिश समझ नहीं आती, सिंपल उर्दू में ब्रेक डाउन कर देते हैं कि यू नो आप ये छोटी सी बुकलेट है, इसको स्टडी कर लें, गो थ्रू कर लें, और इसमें बेसिकली ये स्टार्ट होती है बुकलेट कि द पेगन रूट्स ऑफ क्रिसमस। बताया गया क्रिसमस है क्या, क्रिसमस का मतलब क्या है, द मास ऑफ क्राइस्ट। और हकीकतन अगर आप पीछे किताबों में जाएं, बाइबल में जाएं, पुरानी बाइबल पढ़ें, नई बाइबल पढ़ें, उसमें कहीं आपको क्रिसमस का लफ्ज़ नहीं मिलेगा। सवाल ये है कि फिर क्रिश्चियंस क्रिसमस मनाते क्यों हैं जब ये इनकी किताब का हिस्सा नहीं। तो और फिर एक्चुअली आप थोड़ा डिग डाउन करें, थोड़ा डीप इसमें जाएं, आपको पता लगेगा कि क्रिसमस का ईसा इस्लाम से कोई लेना देना ही नहीं। ये एक्चुअली सूरज का, शम्स का, सूरज का एक खुदा है, सॉल जिसको ये लोग कहते थे, रोमन्स जो हैं वो इसको सॉल कहते थे, और वो एक्चुअली उस सूरज की, खुदा की, जिस दिन वो पैदा हुआ, वो जाहिर हुआ या पैदा हुआ, उसकी वो जो है ना बर्थडे मनाते। इट्स रिडिकुलस। सोचें आप शिर्क, आप एक खुदा की इबादत यानी अल्लाह के साथ किसी खुदा को भी एसोसिएट करना शिर्क है। तो मामला क्रिसमस का शिर्क तक चला जाता है। इट्स नॉट अ स्मॉल थिंग, इट्स नॉट स्मॉल थिंग कि आप कहें सिर्फ ईसा इस्लाम की बर्थडे ही तो मना रहे हैं, इसमें क्या बुराई है, इसका केक खा लो, इसका इनका गिफ्ट ले लो, इनको मैरी क्रिसमस बोल दो। नहीं, ये मामला डीप डाउन आप जाएं جس کی اصل کرسمس میں کرسچینٹی میں ہی نہیں ملتی، کرسچینس کے نصارہ کے یہاں اس کی کوئی حقیقت نہیں ملتی، تو پھر مسلمانوں کی تو بالکل ہی تک نہیں بنتی کہ وہ یہ شرکی تہوار جو ہے منائیں۔ تو پہلے تو یہ ریکارڈ کلیئر کرنا، اسٹیٹ کرنا ضروری ہے کرسچینس کے لیے، کرسچینس دھوکے میں ہیں، کرسچینس کو الو بنایا گیا ہے، ان کی چرچز نے ویسٹرن چرچ نے ان کو الو بنایا ہے کہ کرسمس منانا ان کے دین کا حصہ ہے، کوئی ان کے دین کا حصہ نہیں، کہ یہ بس پیسے کمانے کا ایک طریقہ ہے۔ سب کو پتہ ہے کہ کرسمس میں کتنا بزنس ہوتا ہے ہر سال، اور چرچز کتنا کماتے ہیں، یہ سب پیسے کمانے کا ایک طریقہ ہے، لیکن اس کا ان کے کرسچنس کے دین سے کوئی تعلق نہیں، ٹھیک ہے۔ اور ظاہر ہے چرچز نے اپنے خرچے نکالنے ہوتے ہیں، اپنا لوگوں کو اپنی طرف مائل کرنے کے لیے کوئی نہ کوئی، انہوں نے سب کچھ ہی الاؤ کر دیا، ہاں بھائی شراب بھی پی لو، ہاں پارٹی بھی کر لو، یہ بھی کر لو وہ بھی کر لو، درختوں میں لائٹیں لگا لو، اور لائٹیں لگاتے لگاتے سب الٹے سیدھے کام کر لو۔ تو جب وہ اپنے دل سے آزادی دینے پہ آئے، بائبل کے مطابق بھی جو چرچز کا فادرز کا دل کیا جب وہ اپنے جو ہے وہ اس پہ کرنے پہ آئے، تو انہوں نے دین پورا کا پورا دین ہی برباد کر دیا۔ تو علم جو ہے، چاہے آپ غلط علم پہ عمل کریں یا آپ بغیر علم کے عمل کریں، تو غیر مغضوب علیہم ولا الضالین، یہود و نصارہ اس لیے تو ہمیں منع کیا گیا کہ ہم ان کی یہود و نصارہ کی پیروی نہ کریں، کیونکہ وہ غیر مغضوب علیہم ولا الضالین ہیں، وہ گمراہ ہیں اور وہ غصہ کیے گئے ہیں۔ تو صرف صراط مستقیم مسلمانوں کے لیے، کیونکہ ہم سیدھی راہ کے لوگ ہیں، جو مومن ہیں، جو ایمان والے اور عمل کرنے والے، کہ ہم یعنی کہ صحیح آیت اور احادیث شرعی ہم علم بھی رکھتے ہیں، جو چیز اللہ کی طرف سے آئی اس کا علم بھی رکھتے ہیں، اس پہ عمل بھی کرتے ہیں، ٹھیک ہے، اس کی طرف لوگوں کو دعوت بھی دیتے ہیں، جو مشکلیں آتی ہیں اس پہ صبر کرتے ہیں۔ یہ چار بنیادی قاعدے جو ہر مسلمان کو معلوم ہونی چاہیے۔ تو اینی ہاؤ، اب یہ پوری بک تو ہم نہیں پڑھیں گے اس کو، سرسری تھا، ابھی یہ صرف پارٹ 1 ہے، اور اس میں مقصد یہ تھا کہ آپ کو صرف جو یو نو ایک انٹروڈکشن دے دیں، اور پھر آپ باقی یہ بک پڑھ سکتے ہیں۔ یہ اس کے جو ہے، اس میں آپ جائیں ٹیبل آف کانٹینٹس میں، یہ ہے اس کا شروع میں ٹیبل آف کانٹینٹ، ٹھیک ہے، اس میں آپ جائیں گے تو اگر آپ کہیں گے تو پھر ہم اس کے اور پارٹ کر دیں گے، اور مزید آپ کو ایکسپلین کر دیں گے کہ یو نو جیسس عیسیٰ اسلام کا حقیقتاً مسلمانوں کا عقیدہ کیا ہے، عیسیٰ اسلام کون تھے، اللہ کے رسول تھے، اللہ کے بیٹے نہیں تھے، اور وہ کس طرح پیدا ہوئے مریم علیہ السلام سے، اور اللہ کے کلام سے وہ کس طرح پیدا ہوئے، ان کی میراکلس ان کی جو برتھ تھی، ان کا پیدا ہونا تھا موجودانہ، اور پھر جو ہے وہ ان کو جو ہے کروسیفائی نہیں کیا گیا تھا، ان کو بالکل کروسیفائی نہیں کیا گیا تھا، بلکہ برعکس ان کو جو ہے وہ یو نو اٹھا لیا گیا تھا، اوپر آسمان میں اٹھا لیا گیا تھا، اور ان کو اللہ تعالیٰ نے بچا لیا تھا۔ تو یہ مطلب غلط عقیدہ ہے کرسچینس کا، کہ وہ سمجھتے ہیں کہ ان کو کروسیفائی کیا گیا تھا، اور ان کے گناہوں کے لیے یہ لوگ وہ مر گئے تھے، اور یہ جو بھی ان کا اوریجنل سن کا کانسیپٹ ہے، تو ان کا اللہ کا بیٹا کہنا بھی شرک ہے، گناہ ہے بہت بڑا، اور جو ہے یو نو جو اوریجنل سن کا کانسیپٹ ہے، ٹرینٹی کا کانسیپٹ ہے، وہ بھی شرک ہے، اور یہ سب ان کے پادریوں نے بعد میں اپنی طرف سے من گھڑت عقائد بنائے، سسٹمز بنائے، ان کا حقیقتاً ان کے دین سے کوئی تعلق نہیں ہے، ٹھیک ہے۔ تو yeah, that's what you guys need to know, the reality of uh, Christianity first and foremost, and then the reality of Christmas. Okay, and then what is upon a Muslim is to only suffice himself to Eidan, which is Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, and not to imitate the disbelievers, not try to please them, not to imitate them. You cannot even say Merry Christmas, that is haram. You cannot take gifts from them. You cannot participate in Christmas party or Christmas function or whatever, anything related to Christmas. You clearly tell them that this goes against our religion, this is shirk, and we completely are like against this practice of yours. We will not support you in this. We will not congratulate you in this in the least. And we have the best of the religion, the final religion, the most updated and the most preserved and the final religion for all of mankind, which is Al-Islam. And the ayah is mentioned in this. You can go through this whole booklet. You can find it on Salafi publications. And uh, the words in which Allah says, this day I have completed your religion, I have completed my favor upon you, and I've chosen Islam as your final religion. So Allah Himself has chosen Islam as religion for all of mankind. And how can we judge religion by ourselves? We choose whatever we like. This is not a food cuisine that you can choose whatever you like. This is religion, and you have to choose the religion that Allah accepts, because at the end of the day, you are going to worship Allah. And the Jannah is with Allah. Only Allah can bless you with the Jannah. So you need to be, eligible for Jannah. And for that, you need to study and follow the religion properly. There is no prophet. So I will just read through. It's already 22 minutes in. I'll read through the final. I don't want to make this video very long. हम just आखिरी जो पैराग्राफ है वो पढ़ेंगे और I will read through the last paragraph of of this booklet by him. So एक तो ये है कि हमारा मुसलमानों का अकीदा है, we Muslims believe Jesus will return at the end of time. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, by him in whose hand is my soul, Jesus, son of Mary, will soon descend among you as a just judge. He will break the cross, kill the swine, abolish the jizya, the duty paid by non-Muslims living under the protection of Muslim countries, and wealth will pour forth to such an extent none will accept charity. The cross is not but an object of torture and execution used in ancient times. It is not a symbol of God or Christ, so it is changed centuries after Christ used as a charm, kissed, revered, and worshipped. Would Jesus recognize this strange practice to be a teaching that he taught his disciples? Nay. And so there is no prophet between me and Jesus. He will descend to the earth, and when you see him, you recognize him as a man of medium height, reddish fair, wearing two light yellow garments. He will look as if drops were falling down from his head, though it will not be wet. He will kill the Antichrist. He will live on the earth for 40 years and then die. He will kill the Antichrist and will live on the earth for 40 years and then die. Then the Muslims will pray the funeral prayer for him. So the true followers of Jesus Islam today believe also in Muhammad as a messenger, devoted servant of the same God who sent Jesus. Okay. How to become a Muslim, which includes believing in Jesus, choose Islam today. The Prophet Muhammad said, okay, so now I'm reading the final thing. Prophet Muhammad said, whoever says, I testify that none has the right to worship except Allah alone, he has no partners in worship, and Muhammad is devoted servant and messenger. Jesus is his devoted servant, the son of his maid servant, Mary. He was God's word, which he announced unto Mary in his spirit. And he testifies that paradise is true and hellfire is true. Then Allah will enter him into paradise through whichever of the gates of paradise he chooses. paradise he pleases. Okay, and all the references are there, each and every reference in the ahadith. So you just this single utterance spoken sincerely and truthfully enter you into Islamic fold and put you on path to paradise and God's eternal pleasure. तो आप बस जो है ये अपना अकीदा ठीक कर लें तो जो हक है उसको कबूल कर लें और इंशाल्लाह आखिर दुनिया और आखिरत की खैर होगी सुब्हानक अल्लाहुम्मा बिहम्दिक अशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्ला अंत अस्तगफिरुका व अस्सलामु अलैकुम closing down the move at the stage. Let me close on here. At the stage. So guys, that was all part one reality of the affair of celebrating Christmas, and I hope you benefited from it. And you know, it's really important that we. Besides, anyways, Christmas today is a massive business. It's more of a commercial thing, less of a religious or inspiring or divine thing. You know, but whatever as comes in the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha that whoever innovates any affair that is not legislated, then it will be uh, you know it will not be accepted by Allah. And so it's it's really important that من أحدث في أمرنا هذا ما ليس منه فهو رد. You know, whatever you innovate, whatever new thing you come up with in Islam, that's not written, that's not legislated, there's no delil for it, it will be rejected. So you need to understand this concept of bid'ah, that in religion you cannot just innovate stuff from your about this. So yeah, that's all. So that is enough for us. We don't need to topic in further detail. I can obviously go through all those ahadith that we are skipping through, but once you read this booklet, the matter will become really clear to you. Yalla. Don't follow your desires, follow Quran and Sunnah as per the understanding of Salaf Salih. That is the only way to do success. Yalla, Assalamu alaikum. And screen.